Hi Forex traders, this is Chris speaking, and I will be discussing the major currency pairs on this 4th of May regarding the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, and AUD USD. But before we start, please be aware that this video analysis is intended for a global audience and may not be suitable for everyone. Please visit this link at moremarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity to find out more. Also, trading is considered high risk and may not be suitable for everyone. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. And this video analysis is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended as advice. By continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer. We start first of all with the euro dollar monthly chart because the month of April has completed and we see a bullish candle. This is of course a unique event considering the fact that since May last year, 2014, there are about 10 or 9 monthly candles in a row bullish, or to be precise here from July. We have 8 in a row or 9 in a row. So that is a lot of bearishness and a big downtrend. So this is the first kind of monthly signal that this downtrend is at least temporarily going to be paused. And if we then zoom in to the lower time frames, we will see, of course, this monthly candle consists of several weekly bullish candles. And we can see that indeed we had a upside the last few weeks. So we're getting some retracement. That's why I put a fib from top here to bottom using the wave analysis. That's why I used that particular leg. And we can see the price stopped at the 23.6 fib at 112.23 at the moment. So what I'm expecting personally is a further correction of this euro dollar upside, considering the big monthly candle that almost engulfed the month of March. In fact, that I'm considering the fact that more upside is likely up to the 38.2 fib, for instance, at 117. Personally, however, before taking it long and trading it long, I myself am looking for a discount, a bit of a pullback on this weekly chart. We had a bullish candle last week, so I would like to see a retracement of that bullish candle down to the 50 or the 61.8 fib, and then an upside up to the minus 61.8 target, magenta, that is quite close and confluence with the 38.2 fib as well. So if I then zoom into the daily chart, I'm looking basically for a retracement of this bit of a swing high here, the weekly candle in fact, or I can even put it down here of the daily swing high, swing low, and I'm looking for the 50 fib or the 38.2 fib as a bouncing spot. And you can see the 61.8 of the weekly candle is exactly 110 psychological level, and the 50 fib equals these tops, these broken tops here, which could now of course become support. So anywhere around 110, 110.50, I'm expecting a bounce for upside up to that about 116, 117 level. For me, a stop loss below the weekly low of last week, which is around 108, should be sufficient in my opinion for that swing trade to the upside. And if we zoom in even lower to the 4-hour chart, we can see that recent upside, a lot of momentum. You can see the oscillator here showing that momentum, no divergence between these tops as well. So we are now retracing. The oscillator is moving back down to the 0 line. So this could mean a retracement zone or time frame at the moment, after which I would expect the uptrend to continue. If you want more up-to-date info as we continue this week of trading, take a look at these webinars. Weekly FX recap tonight with Nennet, taking a look at the euro dollar, for instance, so you can get his feedback. But also tomorrow and Wednesday, live trading room on Fibonacci and wave trading and intraday. So we'll discuss the euro dollar then as well. So if you want more info, take a look at these webinars. And also Wednesday and Thursday evening, we have great educational topics, the CCI and using market structure. Alright, let's move and continue with the pound dollar monthly chart, and that is a pretty exact copy of that euro dollar monthly candle as well. Big, bullish, and almost engulfing, or in this case engulfing actually the candle of March. So here too we see the downside potential to be quite maybe limited at the moment, and we could see a retracement to the upside. So if we put a fib from the swing high, swing low, which I did already on the weekly chart. In fact, I think, no, I didn't. Okay, I'll add it. You can see that price is probably going to retrace that entire bearish swing high, swing low up to, for instance, the 38.2 fib at 155.70, which is the previous top as well. or even the 50 fib, right? Like 158.80. So those are the main things to keep an eye on. But before we move up with the pound dollar, I do think some downside could happen, because if you look at the weekly candle last week, monthly candle is bullish, but weekly candle is a big bearish wick and a bearish close, in fact. So some downside pressure just based on that seems likely, and I would expect downside upside basically. Downside perhaps again here to the 61.8 and then an up move to the 38 or the 50 fib on the green fib. That looks like this on the daily chart, for instance. You can see big daily candles, bearish candles, and we could even see a retracement of this big daily candle up to, for instance, the 50, and then downside and an upside, right? So we always have these ups and downs, and looking at the big daily candle, bearish candle, I would expect some follow through to the downside, but a retracement perhaps of that big daily candle to the downside could happen as well. So me personally, I wouldn't mind hunting for a short at the 50 fib here at 152.55 with a or 152.88 with a stop loss above the 154 and aiming for 149.40. I wouldn't mind either looking for longs at 159.40 with targeting the 157.50, for instance, for the moment, right? So those are the main ideas I have as swing trades, down and then up for the moment on this pound dollar. If I zoom into the 4-hour chart, that's how it looks like here, this bearishness, and that seems to, there seems to be a good likelihood or chance of that bearishness to continue, as I said, considering the momentum here to the downside until at least 149.40 on this pound dollar, which certainly could be a bouncing spot and a strong support level. The AURUSD is really nothing different compared to the pound and euro. It too has a big bullish candle. In fact, engulfed more the candle of March than the previous two I've just mentioned. The candle, in fact, a lot smaller of March, so it's easier to engulf it, and we do have those engulfing twins. So expecting here upside too, although we did see a big wick as well on the Aussie and kind of fulfilling a expanding wedge we talked about already a while ago. And well, certainly this Aussie breaking through this resistance trend line, this orange one, indicating that the downtrend is in any case over and out. And for the moment, I would expect price perhaps to retrace down to 76.30 here, which could be kind of a head and shoulders level. If you look at the daily chart, you'll see that a bit better here. This is the left shoulder, this is the head perhaps, and this could be the right shoulder. So that's something I'm looking at, a bit of a bounce at support and shoulder, had inverse head and shoulder pattern at 76.20, 76.30. Until then, perhaps downside. It's the target as well. If we put a fib from here to here, minus 618 target. So here too, perhaps we broke through a support line, a bit of a pullback, and then a downside, and then again a bounce. Seems to be the same pattern expectation on the Aussie as the other two majors. Last but not least, the dollar-yen monthly chart. We see kind of smaller candles, dojis, and it seems to be in a wedge at the moment. If we count from here and zoom into the daily chart, then you can see that the potential wedge here is A, B, C, and this could be a D, and we go down for E. So that wedge is still in play unless, of course, the, let's see, this is the B part, breaks at 120.80. Of course, if price breaks through that, and this is not an A, B, C, D, E correction, 4-away 4, but perhaps a breakout to the upside. So that's an important level to keep an eye on. As long as that does not break, there's a chance that it bounces down for an E leg as well. So if we look at the weekly chart, the triangle that I mentioned here is all part of a correction within a big uptrend. So when the triangle completes, the uptrend could be very interesting and could be a good trades. For the moment though, it's in consolidation, and the dollar yen is not as interesting to me as the other currency pairs. That wraps up the video analysis of this week. Thank you so much for joining. Take a look at Admiral Markets in social media, and I wish you all happy hunting and I hope to see you in the webinars. Cheers.